Welcome to On The Recyard, Women's Prison Podcast, where we are live on the... Hey, y'all. We are On The Recyard, Women's Prison Podcast. I'm Marci Marie.
I'm Toonche.
Toonche, Happy New Year's.
Well, Happy New Year. We were not here last week.
We were not. We were not. I wasn't even going to bring it up. I was going to just set, the people would have been asking why we weren't at rec.
They would have. So we might as well, let's just get right to that. Hey, everybody, we forgot to pre-record, got caught up in the holidays, and then realized we didn't do the podcast last week. And we wonder why.
Why we can't get a sponsor?
Well,
oh my gosh.
We do the best we can. We're here tonight.
We are here tonight. And you know what? I have said that to myself several times the entire month of December is I'm just doing the best I can.
and that is good enough.
Yes.
Good enough.
Well, it's going to have to be.
There ain't no choice. This is what it is. So either get on board or the train's left the station.
That's absolutely correct. Lady Amnesty watching from YouTube. We love you. Thank you for your support all 2024. Happy New Year. Jerry Swaim, our friend watching from YouTube as well. Happy New Year, Jerry. We see you all coming in on the chat and coming in on the live. And maybe some of you were like wondering if we were going to be here since we no-showed. We're going to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to be talking. This is just a New Year's hangout on the Recyard tonight. It's casual. And actually, if you want to hop on, you can. You can. I'll send you the link. Get in the chat if you want to hop on and tell us about your New Year's resolutions or some things that you're leaving behind in 2024 or any crazy prison New Year's stories, because we have a few and we're going to get into them a little bit later. Just drop in the chat and me or Toonche will send you the link. We'll figure it out. We're just, like we said, we're just doing the best we can here.
So I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay. This is a link that you can click on. It will put you in our little waiting room. Marci, I don't have access to our Facebook page. So if you could just put it and post it in our Facebook page, we'll see.
Yeah, because I'm scared of what you might post in there.
Oh, really? Coming from the person that I'm surprised you haven't taken pictures of me asleep or laid out on the floor or in the shower or I don't just do it embarrassing. Like it's escalated.
I try to get some embarrassing content for the people. The people ask for it, honey.
I don't remember anyone.
Well, they're not asking you because it's about you. They're asking me. And you know I'm a people pleaser.
That's so true. Oh Lord. I'm going to put it in our
I'll put it in the Facebook group because I'm down like that.
I'll put it in our Lioness little.
Yeah. If anybody wants to hop on, you're more than welcome. We're just going to be talking about New Year's, right? So before we do that, and while I figure out how to get it on our Facebook page, before we do that, we should do this. Hey, Toonche, we made it through Christmas and New Year's Eve. How was your week?
Well, so I'm really off until the 6th, okay, for TAVP. But you know, Linus, I gave us the whole Christmas week. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
I did have y'all come to a team meeting yesterday on New Year's Eve, but today was off too. So, but back at work essentially this week, pretty much. So just working on stuff, trying to get stuff ready. Session starts January 14th in Texas here. So we're trying to get our trainings together and, but I'm feeling good. A little stressed about some admin things, but so far just Christmas was good. Me and Lori were in East Texas We were in East Texas.
And y'all rode together.
We rode
Road
together.
trip.
Yep, and, we stayed at a hotel. I went to my parents, she went to her daughter's, and then, I brought her back some food from my parents' house, and we watched little Christmas movies. Her back was hurting her, and so she went to bed a little
Did
early,
you
but
take pictures of her while she was asleep, Jen?
I
That's weird.
did, I
It's
did.
creepy. You have to stop that kind of stuff.
Was it?
It's
Or
giving,
if you're
like,
watching.
weird stalker vibes.
Oh, honey, I have borderline personality disorder, so I thrive on stalker. I mean, that's just fatal attraction right there. And I did say, Lori, while she was changing, now she did have her back to me. I told her, I said, I took some pictures while you were doing it. She
Oh,
said,
Jen.
I want you to delete. I didn't. It was funny though. I said, you're going to go through my phone one day and there's going to be a secret folder full of weird stuff. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I don't want the federal.
She's barely joking. She's slightly joking.
Lot of pictures of cats and you know, random stuff. But well, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was, it was eventful. Well, the weekend after last weekend, I had all of my kids here. So my son was up from San Marcos, and my other son and daughter were here, and then my 2 high school daughters were here. We had a house full all weekend long, and it was late nights and wrestling, and all of them got on the we got a new trampoline. We have a
Ooh.
trampoline here, and they were all going crazy on the trampoline, and, yeah, it was good. It was busy and tiring, and I'm scooting around on this knee scooter with this broken foot, but I can walk a little bit and even a little bit more now, on this boot that I'm wearing, so, it was just me kinda wobbling around taking care of things.
Well, I mean, you had a good time. The kids had a good time.
I did have a good time. Jerry said, "Would you believe I got excited Christmas morning over a soft toilet seat and a digital tire inflator for my car?"
What a joy. What a joy.
I keep going on mute to yell at my little dogs who are over here. I let them in because it's cold out. Normally, they're outside during podcast time.
Y'all want to hear how Marcy does this to poor Tony? Tony, Tony, Tony. Poor Tony's just shaking his head as though you can hear his little ears flapping.
For
God damn
God's
it,
sake.
Tony. I'm like, poor Tony.
Hey, that's the middle of the night. That's the him waking everybody up in the middle of the night. That's how I do it then. For God's sake, Tony, please.
Y'all, I was at her and Brittany's house sleeping on the couch. We had been to some event. I had to go somewhere in the morning too, I think. And I saw halfway through the night, and you know, the dog shakes his ears and his collar, and he's always restless. And I just hear Marcy sit up and go, God damn it, Tony. Stop for the love of God. Poor guy.
Poor Tony. Well, he sleeps with my nephew now. It's
Oh,
brilliant. It's
that's
brilliant.
nice. So he's
Yeah.
kind of out of your hair for the
Ye
most of the night.
yeah, and sometimes my little nephew says, "It's hard to sleep sometimes with Tony in there," and I just pat him on his little head. "I know, buddy." And I don't offer to change it.
No, I'm not get yeah, I hate to hear that for you, but
Nah, he loves having Tony in there, so, it works out. It works out for both of them, actually, so yeah. So, Vincent Nixon, who I know from the Dr. Lane Murray unit, is watching from Facebook. Happy New Year's. And Vincent is a trans man who was incarcerated in a Texas women's prison. So he has lots of prison stories, but I'm sure he has some New Year's prison stories as well. Tell me, Toonch, about some of your best New Year's in prison stories.
best New Year's. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have best. I have Christmas stories that are fun and warm, but New Year's always felt I'm not gonna lie, New Year's always depressed me.
Did it?
Yeah. I mean, I would stay up sometimes, we'd have our Sprite and put some Cool-Offs in it and say it was champagne, and Happy New we'd sit up, watch the ball drop. But I always just felt the next morning, it just felt, I don't know, real quiet and just bleak. I don't know why. I don't know if that's because I was like, "Look, here goes another year." I don't really know why I felt that way.
Well, I felt the opposite. And I had a good little sentence, I wasn't in there on 2 years. It's not like I was going home and, but I felt like there were enough people that around New Year's, people would start talking and they'd be like, "Hey, I talked this year." And in prison terms, that means I see parole for the first time, or I see parole. "Hey, I talk." Um, and so, or it would be, "Yeah, I go home this year," or "I'm eligible for parole this year," or, and I think that I felt this kind of hope that I didn't feel other times of the year. And it was a collective kind of hope. It wasn't like raw disparity like you're describing.
Wow, that hit me hard the way you framed it. That was full of joy and optimism, but your raw despair, good God, no. I don't know why. It always felt, I don't know, maybe I've always been that though, even as a kid about the holidays. The next day after Christmas always made me sad because it was over. Like all the and it just felt like New Year's was just kind of this last petering out of the holiday season, and then it's back to normal, you know? So maybe that was part of it. I mean, like even today, I was like, I mean, I'm really just sitting around bullshitting with, you know, Lori all day and hanging out and talking, and that's great. That made me happy. But um I've just never been it's not been one of my most exciting holidays, I guess, even in prison.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I
You're
don't
like,
know.
I don't know what to do now because we were going to talk about happy, fun stories, and you
Well,
really brought us down
because New
to.
Year's Eve was lit, and I wanna get to that, but I see Leslie Salazar, shout out to the homies out of San Antonio, group of, a lot of formerly incarcerated folks and family members getting together, making changes and waves in the system. She's watching from Facebook. Now, Leslie, we're about to go all YouTube, so make sure you're following our YouTube channel. She said, "I was blessed to have both of my parents here with us this holiday season instead of in prison," which I love that so much. And congratulations to your whole family. My 25-year-old daughter, or has she turned 26? Shame on me. Shame on me if she has, and I don't know it, or I'm not thinking of it. But she often, every holiday, will say, "Look, mom's 4th year 4th Christmas." Like, she took a picture of me cooking meals and everything, and it's like, "Look, her 4th Christmas," and it's on her Snapchat, and, it's something that really stays with her after me being gone, so I'm glad that you got to experience that, with your family as well. We have somebody in the waiting room. Uh, do you know who?
I do. It's Lori.
Oh, look. I love that. Okay, let's get her on. And Lori, who might not be on camera, but she will be with us, her voice.
Well, where's your voice, Lori? You have to say something.
Lori will hopefully always not be on camera, but
It's like a voice from heaven talking to us right now.
it's like Charlie's Angels is what it's like.
This does have a Charlie's Angel vibe
Mhm.
with all 3 of us here. Uh,
Yeah.
Lori, tell me about your New Year's experience. Lori, you have so just so because our audience might not know, this is Lori. When anytime Jennifer talks about the love of her life, this is who she's talking about.
Shit.
Yes, I'm sorry, baby. I had to go there, and hearts are breaking across the rec yard hearing this,
I
that
know,
you
it's
have
rough.
to heart. We're breaking hearts all over the rec yard tonight. But I also just wanted to point out that you spent years in and out of the carceral system, county jails, prisons, and so you've been on the straight and narrow for quite some time and doing God's work, helping formerly incarcerated women for sure. But I want to know about your experiences in New Year's this time of year and while you're incarcerated.
I so, New Year's is just kind of like a throwaway holiday to me, and maybe it's because I am in recovery. Maybe it's because New Year's has all of those connotations of what you're supposed to do or what people normally do, but I think when I gave up that life, I gave up a lot of New Year's celebration too. And y'all know me. Y'all know I'm in bed early. And I was in prison too. There weren't any late night boom boom, Jennifer, out in the day room doing a bunch of stuff. I probably was in bed.
Well, I'm going to say something. Let's pause that no boom boom going on. I want one day I'm going to get my hands on that picture that you showed me. This is what I looked like in prison. Marcy, she looked, I think you've seen the picture. She looked
Marcy has
like a
seen the
stud
picture.
brawn.
I did not look
Yeah,
like
you
a stud
did.
bra. Did you hear Marcy say straight and narrow? Because I did.
Yes, I didn't mean that kind of straight, honey. I meant
Say what you
walking the
mean,
path
Marcy.
that doesn't
Say
lead
what you
to
mean. And mean what you said.
I meant walking the straight path away from the carceral system.
Oh,
Not your
oh.
not this fake heterosexual stuff that you do. Um, but anyway, so you mean to tell me you didn't do any New Year's activities? I mean, at least I stayed up and sometimes participated.
Yeah. We ate. I was always down for cooking, and I was a little bit like Jennifer there, where I didn't actually do the cooking.
Oh, you got the items and had Marcy cook them.
I took advantage of the resources around me and the gifts that other women had that I maybe didn't possess.
Oh, how nice you frame that. Oh, what a joy.
So you know what my resolution is this year?
Let's hear it.
Same old bullshit. The same old bullshit. I'm just going to stay on my bullshit for the whole year.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. We don't curse on this
Oh,
podcast
we
because we
don't?
censored.
Well, that's a lie because Toonche, I have to get in this private chat almost every episode and tell her to stop dropping the F-bomb or we're gonna be suppressed on the algorithm.
I'm
Damn.
so sorry, Marcy. I take my cues too many times from Jen, and this is just one time I never should have followed her. One of many.
All right. Well, thanks, Lori.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Thanks for hopping on, Lori.
Love
You know
y'all.
what Lori reminded me of? She reminded me of my very first New Year's Eve in the big girl prison in Lane Murray. I had had a New Year's Eve in the county jail. I had had one in at Plain State, but the real big girl prison. And I was really intimidated going to this prison. Had only been there. I got there on Halloween, so I'd only been there a short amount of time on New Year's. I was still like sleeping as much as I could, and I remember I would even lay in my bed and be in this kind of weird realm where I wasn't all the way asleep, but I wasn't like present, but my body was relaxed enough that I was vaguely aware of what was going on around me, and I kind of lived in that state literally until I came out of that funk, and started getting jumping right into prison. Why are you looking crazy?
I'm just listening to your
Is it
story.
crazy? Well, I'm not trying to be, but yeah, I was in a funk. I had left my
Right, right,
I
right.
had made a family at Plain State. I had
Mhm.
my sister Crystal there at Plain State. I slept next to her. We did everything together, and I was depressed, man. I'm
Mm.
on this new unit. I'm on a maximum security unit. It was a big change. Anyway, the New Year's. I lived in F dorm upstairs, so it was like one run with bunks on either side. And they were the party was up there, and
Mhm.
they were, like, dancing down the run, taking turns, and, I mean, they everybody would turn their radio on to the same station and
Mm.
plug their headphones on and do the little toilet paper trick so that it kind of amplified the music, and I was asleep, but I wasn't, but I was, and I could hear people saying, "I can't believe she's asleep." Like, "I can't believe she's sleeping through this. I can't," and I don't know. I remember thinking this is the penitentiary and they are lit. Like they were dancing like they were at the club. They had good laws and
It was, "We're gonna
it
make a
was
party of
yeah,
this."
and they made a party of it. So I remember, but my next New Year's was a lot more fun.
You were dancing that you were
I was already in it.
swinging on that pole.
I was well, there weren't any poles. I did do that in that same dorm, my first couple years of incarceration, we had a wedding, and I don't know why I did quotation marks because that couple is still together now, and that must have been, like, in 2013-ish,
Mm.
and they had a prison wedding, and they've been home in the free world for probably about at least 6 or 7 years now, and they're still together. Anyway, I did dance for their
Wait a
bachelorette
minute,
party.
hold on a second.
I did.
What type of dancing are we talking about?
I got trained, Cody Mack, thank you. She gave
Uh-huh.
me a lesson in how to dance, like if I were, paid for that, paid to dance.
So did you do the where you crawl on the floor and then you roll and flip your body and jump up?
No, because
I had a stripper teach me that.
I did not do that. I did not do that move, but I did think that I wore, like, the outside yard jacket for y'all that if you see anybody, like, working on the side of the road and see those orange mesh jackets, like, that's what is my top, and I tied it real cute, and um, I had Host Squad black work boots on.
Jesus. Did you strip?
Well, I didn't strip, I just dressed that way. I didn't take anything off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, well, does Brittany know this story?
I don't know if she does know this story. Uh, and I can't believe Carrie Jones
You
and your
just telling
beautiful
people's
wife.
business.
Yeah,
I
it was
did.
their wedding. So anyway, yeah. But anyway, so obviously I had gotten right into the New Year's vibe, but I just remember it being so much fun. I remember New Year's Eve, like shredding, even in cell block when we were racked up, we were lit. We were on the run, hollering out at each other. We were like shouting out songs on the run, and we would tear up magazines to make homemade confetti. And at midnight, we would all shoot confetti, like dump the bowl in front of our door, and then put the fan so it would just blow confetti all off the run. And so from the second floor down, when you looked out the window, you would just see all this confetti.
I mean, I do remember the confetti. I do remember that. And then
I
you know what I told people? Like I've told our audience here, our faithful community, it's my birthday. Do not put this confetti or this powder or any of this stuff in my cubicle. I don't want to have to clean it up.
And there you go. There you go. Lori, we saw you hop on, and I don't know if you had a bad connection, but if you wanna join, We would love for you to hop on and tell us about any New Year's resolutions or any New Year's prison stories. We'd love for you to come hang out on the rec yard. But hop back on if you want to come on.
Yeah, it's just going to have you in a waiting room until Marci clicks the button to let you in. So, anybody else you want to come on and tell us your prison New Year's story or your New Year resolutions? I think I heard somebody just
Yes,
now.
and Lori's back. Lori, I'm gonna, yeah, welcome, Lori. Welcome to the rec yard. Uh-oh, we
Hey,
saw.
you guys.
There
There
you
you
go.
I am so sorry. You know what? Technology is just sometimes not my friend. But Happy New Year. I love you, ladies.
Well, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. What's your New Year's resolution?
Oh, to be kinder to myself. Just to be kinder to myself this year.
That's a good
That's a
one.
good one. Yeah, truly. I think that it's so important for and for those of you that might not know Lori Miller, she has experience in the Texas prison system as well. She is a big player in Freed, Texas, out of San Antonio. She's one of our Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance warriors, and she's out here doing really good work. And I think for people that really emerge ourselves in this kind of work and like giving back to our communities. It's like almost for me, it feels like a way kind of to reconcile with damage that I've done in my past life. And in this work, we offer everybody so much grace. We offer others so much grace. And I think it's so important that we also turn some of that grace inwards and give ourselves that same grace we would give others. So I think that's a great one.
What was do you have a favorite or a memorable or a happy New Year's memory from prison?
Oh,
Okay.
she said 1 second.
1 second.
I do see Vincent, watching from Facebook. He says New Year's normally had horrible officers, and that was one of the holidays, New Year's Eve especially, that you were watching that second shift officer come in and, like you were on pins and needles to know if you were going to bed for, New Year's Eve or if you were gonna have a good time with everybody.
Right. They sometimes would head that off and put those bad officers in there because they knew we were
Truly.
going to get crazy.
Truly they would. And I love that you were like, "We watched the ball drop." Well, girl, we weren't watching the ball drop at Lane Murray because it was count time at midnight. And so they would rack us up at 10 minutes till. We would be in our cubicles doing our
Watching the ball
countdown.
drop.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. I am so sorry.
Okay.
I am chairing a meeting in the background because that's part of my, amends to myself for all those years of doing what I did. I think my favorite one of all, because I had gotten, I'm always the example of what not to do. I got married when I was in prison. I had a whirlwind romance in the county jail, back in the day. And I got married, and the girls threw a bachelorette party for me. And it was amazing. They took a t-shirt. You wouldn't believe what they can do with a t-shirt. And so we pulled all of our this was, I think, on the unit. This was on Sycamore.
Mm-hmm.
And we pulled our radios into the center, and my cubicle next to me, she did a lap dance for me. And that and we had people going by to the rec yard, and they were just like looking in the windows, and and then that was my most memorable one. But we had somebody hem the officer up on B side. We were on A side. So and then work got fast the next day, and a couple of the officers were upset that they weren't working that day. That
I
love a good
love that
party.
so much. And I love that you brought up that they made an outfit with the t-shirt because that's how it goes down in there. And for those kind of there were some women in there looking like they were going to the club sometimes. They would come up, like, seriously, and using a commissary bag. So y'all that have not been in a Texas prison, it's like a white mesh laundry bag, and it's just a white mesh fishnet-y type material. I've seen dresses made out of that, and they looked off the chain. They looked like they could have really been stepping into the club for real. So that's so much fun, and I'm so glad that you brought that up also, because just talking about how even in those really sucky circumstances that your team in there, your family in there still came together and made something happen for your wedding and celebrated with you.
Well, it was amazing because, well, I prefer women. On here.
Well, this show's finna take another turn.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about women. No, that's a whole nother show.
No, we used to do the map colors. Remember, we called it Mapeline too, and she did her makeup so beautiful.
Yeah.
Lori's gonna get us censored and banned right now because
it's On the Recyard after hours. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about one of the outfits I saw. So since we're talking about prison strippers and people stripping in prison, one of the outfits I saw, she took her, like she made her panties, because y'all, the panties we get are big white granny panties. But she cut them up and made them super cute. But then as a final touch, and she made her a little top, but as the final touch, she put on red lipstick and put lip prints all over. And they were so cute. Her little panties and her little top had lip prints all over. That was I don't think that was a New Year's thing. That was just a stripper thing. But yeah, New Year's was one of those times where you could get a little bit crazy. It was a little bit lit in there, and we did take Sprite and cool offs
and make us a little champagne, a little fizzy drink,
and do a toast. Vincent, if you go to our On the Recyard Facebook page, I put it in the comments on this live, and you can join, and we would absolutely love to have you on. You could also go to our YouTube channel and look in the comments and find that find that. So, Jen, Lori. Thanks so much for joining us, and thank you for talking about your New Year's experience and your beautiful
strippers,
resolution.
and I love it.
Taking On the Recyard to another level, and we're just so proud to be in this work soon. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, she took it to the next level.
So
Hey,
do we want to have an episode just about girls one?
Well, do you want to tell me you already had to block a comment? I saw.
Did
Was
I?
ugly? Or did you do it by accident? If you didn't do it, you did, because it popped up and
I
told me.
did?
Yeah.
No, I did
Yes,
not.
you
I promise
did.
one of our viewers blocked somebody.
You
I didn't
can't
block anybody.
block somebody from a view. Your viewer can't block a comment.
Honey, I didn't block anybody.
Okay.
I promise to God I didn't.
Okay. Well, if someone has been blocked, obviously you can't see this, but if you all know who it is, you just let us know. Vincent is here. Let's see. Welcome. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Good to
good.
see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. I got
We
off.
did a lot of time together.
Yeah, we did. We did. We were really close in there.
Yeah.
So do you have the dirt on Marci that I've been looking for a couple of years?
He absolutely does, but he is not going to talk about it here. I'm going to hit this little button.
No, we all just went through versions of ourselves in there.
Yeah.
We went through a lot of versions, and I think all of us went through the toxic version of ourselves, because like there was something that I heard the other day. It was saying the healed version of me would never be with any of the people I was with when I was the toxic version of myself, because the healed version would be disgusted. And that just goes with a lot of aspects, just a lot of choices we made at that time, not talking to you or just you, just it's like an umbrella type of you know conversation. We all go in there at a certain time of our life, and we would never make those choices today, you know
Yeah.
growth.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Vince. And it's like I call it prison Jennifer, or it's like that there's a version of me that had to be who I was to survive that place, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be that person again. And when I feel prison Jennifer coming up, I'm like, I need to do my coping skills. But we were all somebody
Mhm.
else then, and we're all somebody else now, thank God. But I do like to hear stories of when Marcy, she just shared the story that she danced at someone's wedding and tied up a fucking host squad vest, and I don't, I'm just so, I'm always fascinated when I hear little stories about my friend that I didn't. I'm like, what? I mean, I can see it, I guess, but like I
Hey,
didn't think.
Vic and I were in medium custody
Oh boy.
Multiple
together, like,
times.
yeah, a few times. Yeah, yeah.
So Vic, how was New Year's for you? New Year's Eve and New Year's in prison. So do you have a memory that sticks out?
There was one time where they did a whole like talent show. I remember that. That was like a really good. I want to say that me and Marcy were in the same dorm. Whenever, yeah, we were in the same quarters, and everybody got together and just did this whole talent show and just had a great time. That was one of the few memories that I do remember having. I remember buying the rib meat from the kitchen.
Yeah.
And making like rib and cheese tacos, which were bomb. They were really good. They were good. Um but majority of the time we got really really bad officers. We knew as soon as they walked through that door, we're like, the day's over. We're going to bed early tonight,
Everybody just put the
because
party stuff up, put it back up. We're
yeah,
all going to bed early because that's a
yeah.
wrap.
We're
And
like,
man, some of those
I'll
cell block officers, our day room time was only like 2 hours. So, but some of those cell block officers, they would not let you out until after count cleared. So that cuts 30 or 40 minutes off of your day room time. And
oh
then they
yeah.
want to rack you up 10 or 15 minutes early. I mean, we lived through some hard times in there. We did.
We really did, especially when like the weather conditions got so bad out there. We suffered more inside. You know what I mean? But I know that we try to make the best out of all the situations. You know, you had some people, and I partake sometimes drinking. The fruity drinks, and you know what I mean. And but I think we just tried to make the best out of it, and when situations were dire, I think we just slept a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm
Or
just going to
jammed
bed.
out. Yeah, or jammed out to music, or wrote, what I'm saying? And well, I mean, I remember going to bed early one time, getting woke up to fight right on over the across the wall, and I'm just like, I hate this place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it got really serious around the holidays.
Yeah.
Um, you
All that
know,
emotional stress.
Yeah,
We
and people act like that out here still. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like the difference is you can remove yourself from those circumstances, for the most part, but it still goes on.
Mhm. Mhm. So tell us, what do you have a New Year's resolution for this year? Do you have any resolutions for yourself right now?
I'm not making any New Year's resolutions, because anybody can say anything. It's when you put the action forth, when you're taking the steps to make it happen. Because I feel like a lot of us were like, yeah, I would like this, I would like this, but until you take the steps to make it happen, You know what I mean? I have a goal. I've already reached. Like two important goals for myself. That has to do with my employment because I've been at this job for almost 5 months now. Yesterday I made number one in the district,
Oh,
um, which I
congrats.
fought to keep that spot for the month of December out of almost 30 reps. So I'm a
Wow.
sales rep now. So my life is a lot different. I went from felon, nobody wanted to hire me. I always thought I was never going to get anything but crap jobs. Did all the food service, Sonic, McDonald's, restaurants. Then I got stuck in restaurants for years. I couldn't get out of it. You know what I mean? And I hated it. It breaks down your body. You know what I mean? And you're just like, I just want something more. Coming from someone like me with my background, and it's always like, no, no, no to all these jobs that you want opportunities for because we all want to make better money. You know
Right.
what I mean? And so I finally got the opportunity through someone who was like, you know what? I know you have a background and I know you got tattoos and you look like this, but that doesn't mean you cannot be successful in this job. So it took one person
Mm.
who saw that in me, which I was grateful, which is kind of crazy because shortly before this, I prayed for God to open a door for me to actually get into this field, and it
Mhm.
happened. You know what I mean? And so it's been a real journey since I've been out of here. It really has. I couldn't find work for 6 months straight.
Mm.
And it was like that was a very dark time for me when I moved here. My wife started her CDL career. It was very hard. The day my wife flew out, and we did everything together. We worked the same job. I mean, we did everything. The day she flew out, my mom went into ICU, and I
Mm.
really like almost just lost it, because I didn't really have much support. I don't really talk to a lot of people, and that I think that has a lot to do with my incarceration, because there was so much dysfunction and chaos in there that I don't want that in my life today. You know what I mean? So it's like it affects my trust with people and getting to know new people because when I start to see little red flags are big red flags to me now. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just want a simple life. I want to go to work. I want to come home. I want to have some fun when it's responsible and, when I'm able to. And I want to build a life for myself and my family. You know what I mean? So I've grown up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, like I had it on mute. My daughter was coming through, so I muted and I'm kind of waving at her. And then I hear what you're saying about your mom, and I'm just like, dear baby Jesus, like, that's another thing we go through, and probably a conversation for another time. But I'm like, we're so used to having someone right there all the time in prison, like whether it's your partner or your friend or your bunkie or your neighbor who you barely know, they're right there and you all talk, and
Hmm.
then coming out here and then being in a situation like that. So yeah, I'm impressed with you overcoming a lot of those things, and sure appreciate you hopping on here and giving us some little tidbits. I also appreciate your willingness to help with our LGBTQ work with Linus. We're still trying to get some things rounded up there, and so I look forward to working with you in the future for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, Vic. We appreciate it. I hope that you
Thank
have
you.
a good New Year's.
Yeah, y'all too, and I just think that y'all are doing something really great. I even though I'm not, in the limelight or, we conversate all the time, I follow y'all, so I keep up with, what y'all are doing. So even though you may not hear me say anything, I'm watching, and I just think that y'all are doing such a justice out here, because the system is getting worse, the treatment is getting worse, and it's just really sad. You know what I mean? So it's like we really didn't have a lot of voices in there whenever we went through things.
Yeah.
And me and Marcy seeing each other go through a lot of things. And so just to see you come out and just take off, like you've had, and with this organization, it's just I give you your props.
Thanks so much. I appreciate that. It really, really, I just took that into my spirit. I appreciate you so much for that encouragement, and we will
Mhm.
have you on another time. I think that we should do a show tune about relationships that make it outside of prison because Vic
Yeah.
married his prison wife.
Yeah.
And so we should explore that. And I'll be in touch because I think that would be a fun episode too. Thanks again for
Okay.
coming on, and we
No
will talk
problem.
soon.
All right.
Okay, cool. I'll be off the 7th and 8th again. So just contact me and we'll just schedule it. Thank you for having me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Vic.
Vic. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
What a joy it is to see someone coming in from that I knew so well on the inside. Um, Yeah, we oh, Stacy, and you're on LinkedIn, and I could just put it on the LinkedIn Live also. I should have done that already because we would definitely love to have you hopped on. Stacy watching from LinkedIn.
And Stacy, when you go to Facebook, it's just On The Recyard Women's Prison Podcast. If you search it that way, it'll pop up too. Um, yeah, well, I mean, hey, I really missed you guys last week. I was with my wife, and we had a good time, and um, good gifts and food, but I do miss when we're not here, Marcy, because I just really, like you said with Big, like really take that into your spirit. Something had upset me earlier that was trivial and dumb, and then just to hear Vincent say something like that is like, you know what, that's what it's about. I don't give a flying fuck about anybody else's opinions about our organization or you or me or any of our friends, or because it's about our community and what this means to us and what our advocacy means to us. And so what a great reminder. That really filled my spirit for
Yeah.
today. It did.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is about the folks on the inside and the folks coming out of prison and getting their lives together. And Stacy, you're watching from LinkedIn. You'll want to follow us on YouTube. Eventually this year, next New Year's Eve, we will not be live all over the place like we are now. It's going to be a lot more
We're
streamlined.
becoming a well-oiled machine. We
Yes.
missed our podcast last week, but we will this year
The
start to
nerve of
hone it
me
in.
to instruct folks when we missed last week. AIC's advocate, which is a longtime supporter of On The Recyard. We love you so much, and we thank you for your work that you're doing with the Oregon DOC. New Year's for me wasn't much, as all the cellies I had would go to bed early because you were with cellies with people like Lori, who was on the show earlier. So I would just lay in my bunk and watch the ball drop at midnight. I really didn't use it as a countdown on my sentence. So he was kind of rocking it, kind of similar to you, Toonch, just almost another day, and I did use it for count time, but I don't know. I don't know if I have a little. I'm I have never been diagnosed with any form of autism. I do have children that display autistic behaviors, and I don't really even know how it works genetically, but I do count. Like, I count steps. I know exactly how many steps from my bed to the bathroom, from my bed to the kitchen, from my bed to the baby's bed, and in prison, I did that as well. And I counted steps and I counted time, big time. Like,
Mm,
it soothed me, and then I would figure the percentage, and it soothed me to do that all the time, man. Like,
really?
what percentage of the year has gone by, what percentage of my sentence, what percentage until I see parole, like, working that out. So, anyway, New Year's Eve was a critical part in that.
Right, I imagine. Well, you know how I track time was through first of all lockdowns. I've got 10 more lockdowns. I've got 8 more lockdowns, counting them twice a year. But I'm going to tell you what else I used faithfully every year was those freaking Wyndham calendar bookmarks that I would cross those months. Like you had it in your book, your Bible or your whatever.
Mhm.
And when you got done with a month, because they'd be 6 months on one side and 6 months on the other. And people would come to the library. Do you have the new bookmarkers yet? Because I knew people like myself that we would just cross off. And then when you had that that bookmark that had all 12 marked off. What a joy that was.
And let me tell you something about that Wyndham bookmark. Toonche is literally talking about a bookmark that was issued to us. It was given to us, a bookmark, and it was like it wasn't laminated. You could write on it. It was like
And it was long. So it was like
yes, it was.
that.
It was great for what you're describing. And I also want you to know that I have gotten a case for marking it off. It was a
What?
contraband because I wrote on it. Yeah.
What?
Yes, I did. I did. I got a case for contraband during a cell search. It was taken out of my book. I said, "Ma'am, that was given to me. It's not contraband." She said, "Well, it's not meant to be written on. It's a bookmark, altered from my original form." Yes.
So what I'm going to tell
Boss
you.
Tyson, who is now a lieutenant, I think, or at least a sergeant, or she was a sergeant when I left. I don't know if she's got another promotion. Boss Tyson, she was a whole squad boss, and she wrote that case. Yes, ma'am, she did. And it went through, and I grieved it, and they came back and said it is contraband because it was altered from its original condition.
Jesus Christ. So my New Year's
30, 30,
resolution
30.
for my personal self is to continue to be the queen and the drama queen that I am. Angela asked me today when I said, me and Lori were hanging out for New Year's, and I sent her the little video, the little meme of Alphaba and Glinda, and I said we're the original wicked couple. And she goes, "Well, which one are you?" I said, "Well, I'm Glinda, of course." I mean, I am the drama queen. So I really want to just continue to nourish that and accept it and embrace it. I love it for me. Second of all, organizationally, my personal goal for the organization is to tackle and find someone to help us really dig into the research about those disciplinary cases.
Yes.
It makes me so angry. I know that men are not getting, we should do a whole episode on disciplinary cases and get some copies from guys and then have our copies. I know Mandy's got some. I know Belinda kept all of hers. She's like, she calls me Woody from Toy Story. She's like, whenever you need them, I got them.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's my New Year's resolution for one of our projects.
You're right, because whenever we talk to men, and you guys that did time on men's prisons, y'all that did time in men's prisons, let us know if we're wrong. But I'm pretty sure you weren't getting it. I've gotten a case for a hair tie on a coffee bag holding my instant coffee closed.
Got a case for writing on a bookmarker. Girls got cases for having extra tampons. And you guys, our guy friends that are watching, although Marci has taught me to look at the analytics, and I know that the majority of our viewers are
Girl power.
women aged 40 to 65. Love y'all.
Which is why you have such a big fan club. They're your people.
Well, I mean, I Lori was on. You were right. Like, we were breaking hearts all across I'm still available because
Lori is not. That's just a pipe dream.
Oh boy. Hey, look, did you put this up here? Because sometimes when you are putting comments up there, I don't see them because I'm talking.
I did not, but I see you, Marie. I'm
Love
just
that.
trying to catch up. I was just going down the list because when I get to talking, I forget. And so I see Crystal watching from YouTube.
Stacy, did you find the link? Are you coming?
I put it on the LinkedIn, and she might have just moved on. I don't know. It's okay. That's okay, but we absolutely would have loved to have you. And I think that this is my friend Stacy that also knows a whole lot about Securus and JPay and
Why did you start whispering?
well, because it's like dirt, man.
Oh,
It's
okay.
slimy.
I like that. I like that.
It's that kind of like exploiting families, and she's doing big work to make that not so easy for them.
Marci, I don't know if you want it. I feel like you just are an open book and you tell all your business
I
because you're
do,
just
honey.
and other people's business, which I'm here for that too. Um, you just had a birthday. Did you
I
tell that
did.
earlier? Did you mention that?
I didn't because honestly, I just have to tell y'all, I'll just get real raw. I have had about 3 weeks where life has been kicking my ass, man. You
Mm.
know, I had to like I put in the group chat with my parents and my brother, I'm like, "I just need y'all to know that I'm not okay." Like I'm feeling so my birthday, I didn't feel great. Like I
Mhm.
had moments of joy over the holidays, so don't get me wrong, but there's just a lot of um outside things happening that I can't control, that I want to control, and I'm just having a hard time. I mean, really,
Well,
if my kids weren't here for Christmas, I'd have just stayed in bed.
well, Marcy, I appreciate you being. I was going to rib you about your age, and now I'm
Go
like, oh
ahead.
my
Go ahead
god.
now. Go ahead.
No, now it's. I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I appreciate your vulnerability, and I feel like I speak for myself and all of our friends and our community here. I mean, whatever you always you need to feel supported or less stressed, or we're here.
Well, thank
I love that you told your family that. That was a level of vulnerability that I don't think that is always easy for you.
I think that you're right.
People see Marcy and this she's funny and happy all the time, and I think sometimes it's a little bit harder for you to talk about how you really feel.
Yeah. No, for facts. So, Happy New Year. No.
Happy New Year, everybody. You thought you were going to hear some more stripper stories, people popping out of cakes and shit, and then we just
I
had a
do
whole therapy
I
session.
want to note that we went from Lori Miller talking about, uh, really getting down and dirty on New Year's Eve, and then Vic came right in with kind of some philosophical? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he got deep. And didn't it just we just rolled with it.
We
Our
did.
people know. We're all over the place. It could be anything at any moment.
Any moment. We'll take a happy thing and just take it right to the heart of some real sad, really raw vulnerability. And then we'll take some real raw, vulnerable, sad stuff and be like, now we're going to turn things into a joke because it got too heavy. So it's just whatever we need to do. But we love you. And if there's ways that any of us can support you, we're here.
Debbie is watching from Facebook, and she is my good friend Jennifer Jonas, who has helped me get the effort out of my hair after prison.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, Debbie. Thank you for your support. I did put my email in the comments on YouTube.
Is this Tom Brady, the football player? Is he watching tonight?
Well, that's why I immediately put my email in there just in case. But I don't think so because I think he said he's locked up, and so
Oh, okay.
I think it might be an alias.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Either way, it's
I'm down. Like, whatever it is. I I wish that I could talk to every single person that was locked up that tried to contact us as an organization. We do great because we have Super Diane. But me personally, on a personal level, I'm not great at it. And then I had that a couple years ago, had that Vice News piece come out, and
Mm.
since then, some more of my content has come out on the Indovo app. And they won't play me in Texas. The Vice News piece is in Texas, but some of my other stuff is all over every other state that doesn't hate me. uh, and they contact me all the time, Toonche, from inside, and I want to hear all of their stories. And it's impossible. It's you
Yeah.
know, I can maybe talk to one person a week, if that.
It's
It's a
just, let
lot.
me tell you something. It is a gift to be able to keep up with correspondence from the inside. It just is. because it is a lot. I'm sending Stacy the link again because I want Stacy to have it. You're on mute, honey. I don't know what happened. Your sound's gone. I mean, I feel like I'm getting cussed out, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, somewhere the Lord said, "Thou hast spoken enough."
It was
There
weird.
it goes. There you go.
Yeah, it switched to some other. It said Zoom, which was weird. I went to settings. Anyways, Stacy's going to come on the show another time. She's already committed, so I need
Oh, okay.
you to know to talk about
Oh, okay. Sorry.
the cost of having someone incarcerated and what it really costs to keep up with communication and what can we do to disrupt that system. She's a disruptor as well. She's also did time with Carrie Blakinger.
Oh, so we can get dirt on Carrie too. I want the dirt on Carrie.
Toonche and Stacy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did put the link in there, and I'm sorry that you missed it. But we were going to have you on soon. I appreciate you. Stacy's also on TikTok, and I think she is Disruptor. Put it in the comments, and I'll put you, because she started talking a little bit about prison. She started making some content, and it's worthwhile content. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for sharing this live. Thank you from both of us and On the Recyard for supporting us through all of 2024 and really just being in community with us. Toonche, do you have any final thoughts? Because I do want to talk about really briefly about On the Recyard goals or resolution.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was just going to say I'm looking forward to the next year. It's going to be interesting. And so we're going to be facing a lot of new, weird, crazy times this coming into the new year, but community saves us, heals us. And so we've got each other. So I'm looking forward to a new year.
Yes, absolutely. We really, On the Recyard, we want to take it to another level. What does that mean? It does not mean it's not just going to be us again. Like it's going to be still the same show. But we're hoping for rebranding. We're hoping to get a little more organized, and we're hoping to get some sponsorships just to cover the costs that it costs to put on the show. And so I think that's that's my biggest goal for the show. And we're doing some other filming projects, so I'm excited. In a couple months, I think we'll be filming some cool intro and AIC advocates. Thank you. Disruptor 411. Yes, that is Stacy's TikTok handle. And you should follow her on TikTok because she's talking about some real stuff. And she doesn't have like a plethora of videos up. She's not a content creator, but she is now creating content that is worthy of listening to. So please go follow her. Yeah, so I just see some new things coming for On the Recyard. Just a little more like the content of the show the same, but just a little more polished and maybe edgier intro and music and
And graphics. Yeah. I mean, me and Marci are hoping to, the podcast that we enjoy. I love it. I've Had It ladies, they are so funny. They remind me so much of us. And I love that, they pre-record some episodes with high quality production, and then I think they read comments, and certainly keeping some of our live shows, but really getting the message out to a wider audience, right? Like that's the whole purpose, is to let these people know what life on the inside really is like, and what we think, if as people with lived experience, what would help. And so trying to reach a bigger audience for change.
Absolutely. So if you want to sponsor us or you want to offer your production skills at low or no fee, please contact us. Until then, we will be back next Wednesday night live on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast. We will see you then. Thank y'all for hanging out with us